For today's video, I had originally planned to review some new A4 airport products, but due to unforeseen events, I had to postpone this review, but don't worry, it will be coming soon here on the channel. So for today's video instead, we will dive into a little bit of obscure aviation history, let's call it like that. And that means for today's review we will take a closer look at a Bombardier Dash8-100 of Interflug. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the Interflug branding. At the back side of the box we then find a quite lovely image of the aircraft in real life, proving that it has actually existed. We furthermore have the original dimensions of the aircraft and a little bit more backstory as to the aircraft. And then we can also see that this is not just a limited edition, but also part of Herpa's Yesterday series. And here she is, the Bombardier Dash8-100 in the, I guess we could call it, standard livery of Interflug, although there is not much standard about this aircraft at all. If you don't know, Interflug used to be the airline of the GDR, so the East German Soviet Republic, which of course means that this airline was only operating aircraft types from the Soviet bloc. Except at the very end of the airline. After the German reunification, as no buyer was found for the airline, they had a brief moment where they were operating an Airbus A310 and this single Dash8 Q100. And in 2013, Herpa made a model of it, and today we will take a look at it to see what it has to offer. Now on the vertical stabilizer we have the for many iconic Interflug logo or branding. Of course the Dash8 has the horizontal stabilizer mounted on top of the vertical stabilizer. Herpa has done a pretty decent job with that, to be honest. On the fuselage we then find the full registration code of the aircraft and the Austrian flag. What that is about, I'll tell you later in the video. And what we for sure also should not forget to mention is the fact that we do have the door to the cargo compartment printed on here. Then at the front of the aircraft, just underneath the cockpit windows, we find the writing of Interflug. Next to that, another curious detail, we have a German flag. You would perhaps expect the East German flag, but of course at that time Germany had been reunified, and that meant that the flag here is in fact the flag of the, at the time, newly reunified country. Now in terms of detailing here at the front of the aircraft, we have the cockpit windows with the lovely metallic edges. However, the real aircraft does not appear to have had those. They were painted over with white paint. We do also have the window wipers and the emergency hatch for the cockpit printed on. There's a little black dot underneath the cockpit windows. I'm not sure what that is about, but the real aircraft did seem to have that as well, just like the lovely blacked out nose cone. On the starboard side of the aircraft we can also find the emergency exits have been printed on. And then we should also take a quick look at the turboprop engines of the Dash8-100. The nacelles have been kept in mostly white, just as the fuselage, but we do actually find a little bit of printed detailing when we look here at the backside. And then of course with all Herpa, turboprop aircraft in scale 500 we have this lovely feature that the blades can be moved. Also a quick glimpse at the wings is worth it, as we can see a bit of detailing here at the top side of the wings. Perhaps some of the physical detailing a little bit drowned away by the white base paint, but I mean you can still see it. The underside of the wings, that alongside more physical detailing also has the full registration code of the aircraft once again. Then of course we have the landing gear. That is a standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all their Dash8 aircraft types at the time when this model was released, but of course since then at least the front landing gear has been updated, but overall I think actually looks quite alright for such a tiny little scale 500 aircraft model. So there we have it, the Bombardier Dash8-100 in the, I guess, kind of standard livery of Interflug from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500, and what can we say about this aircraft model? I mean, to be honest, you shouldn't be expecting much from this aircraft model. The Dash8-100 is tiny in real life and it doesn't get much bigger in scale 500. That of course means there isn't much opportunity to add details to such an aircraft model. Of course, Herpa has certainly also not taken any chances to do so. So if it's not because of the size of the aircraft model, if it's not because of the amount of detailing of the aircraft model, why should you get this model? As I see it, there are two reasons why anyone in 2024 might be interested in such an aircraft model. The first thing is obviously nostalgia. Simply the fact of having an Interflug aircraft model can be appealing to some collectors, and this one is of course especially special because it is only one of 2 Western-built aircraft types ever to be flown in the Interflug fleet, and this, I mean, was flying around for barely a year and was really at the final stretches of the airline. This, by the way, also explains the Austrian registration code, as the at the time newly built aircraft was delivered to Tyrolean Airways, from where Interflug had leased the aircraft in 1919 until 1991. The second reason why anyone perhaps might be interested in such a model today is the fact that you have to remove almost nothing to get an albino aircraft model, so perfect for anyone who wants a custom white aircraft model. Now with this little curious chapter of the aviation history, it's time to end today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then feel free to leave a like. If you're new around here, why not hit subscribe? With that, thanks so much for watching. I'm checking out, and bye.